Welcome back to the channel. Before you spend another Washington quarter, stop right now and check your pocket. Because today, we're revealing the top 5 most valuable ultra-rare Washington quarter dollars that could be hiding in everyday circulation. Do not spend these coins, because what looks like an ordinary old quarter could actually be hidden treasure, a silent fortune, worth serious money that secret collectors are desperately trying to find. Nobody talks about these amazing coins, but one tiny detail can change everything and turn a forgotten quarter into life-changing wealth. Every coin on today's countdown is rarer, more valuable, and more shocking than the last. So stay with me until the very end, because the number 1 coin delivers a real auction shock that you absolutely don't want to miss. First up, the 1976 Washington quarter with the D mint mark has become one of those silent fortunes that many people unknowingly spend every single day without giving it a second look. The year 1976 was a special moment in American history as the United States celebrated its bicentennial, marking 200 years since the Declaration of Independence. The country was filled with patriotic excitement, while also facing economic pressure from rising inflation and the lingering effects of the energy crisis. Millions of special bicentennial quarters were struck to meet enormous public demand, and under that production pressure, a small number developed the unique characteristics that collectors hunt for today. That is exactly why some of these quarters have become hidden wealth, while most remain ordinary. This remarkable Washington quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front, while the reverse proudly displays the colonial drummer with a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars, one of the most recognizable designs ever placed on a U.S. coin. It was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition that gives it a solid, quality feel in the hand, weighing about 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a thickness of approximately 1.75 millimeters. Those numbers may sound ordinary, but collectors know that the smallest differences in appearance can separate a common coin from a life-changing discovery. If your 1976 with D quarter shows an original black and brown layer across the reverse with honest fine circulation, don't assume it is damaged. Natural toning developed over decades is something serious collectors often admire because it tells the coin's real story. Original surfaces are incredibly important. Never clean this coin, because even one cleaning can permanently destroy its collector appeal and dramatically reduce its value. Professional grading is critical, since experts can confirm whether the originality, condition, and surface quality meet the standards that advanced collectors demand. Pay close attention to the Denver mint mark, the sharpness of the drummer design, the lettering, the rim, and the untouched antique appearance. These are the tiny details collectors obsess over during aggressive auction bidding. Many experienced buyers quietly compete for original examples because the finest survivors are becoming harder to find every year. More collectors are holding these coins instead of selling them. Demand continues to rise, and the supply keeps shrinking. Today, an exceptional example like the one described can reach an incredible market value of $116,000, turning what looks like an ordinary quarter into serious money and a true silent fortune. So remember, do not spend this coin, never clean it, protect its original toning, and have it professionally graded before making any decision. Patience can be the difference between pocket change and hidden treasure. But don't relax yet, because the next Washington quarter on our countdown is even rarer, even more mysterious, and the shocking detail behind it has collectors fighting to own one. Stay till the end, because the next coin is even bigger. Next up, don't look away, because this next Washington quarter has shocked experienced collectors more than once. What looks like an old, worn-out quarter with grey surfaces and tiny black and brown dots on the reverse could actually be a hidden treasure that most people would spend without a second thought. This is not fiction. This detail changes everything, and if you ever come across one like this, do not spend this coin. The year 1965 completely changed American coin history. The United States was dealing with a serious coin shortage as silver prices climbed, and millions of older silver coins disappeared from circulation because people were hoarding them. That historic transition forced the U.S. Mint to introduce a new copper-nickel-clad quarter, making 1965 one of the most talked-about years among coin collectors. Under intense production pressure, coins were struck in enormous numbers. Yet only a tiny group survived, with the originality and eye appeal that advanced collectors chase today. The front of this Washington quarter proudly carries John Flanagan's timeless portrait of George Washington, while the reverse displays the majestic American eagle standing over a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, a classic design recognized across generations. It has a solid copper-nickel-clad construction with a pure copper core, weighs approximately 5.67 grams, measures about 24.3 millimeters across, and has a thickness of roughly 1.75 millimeters. Those specifications may seem ordinary, but collectors know that originality is where hidden wealth begins. If your coin has a naturally aged gray appearance with black and brown dots on the reverse, never assume it has no value. Natural toning developed over decades often tells a story that collectors appreciate far more than a bright, polished surface. Never clean this coin. One cleaning can erase decades of originality and destroy the very character that serious buyers are willing to fight over. Professional grading is absolutely critical because it confirms authenticity, condition, and whether those original surfaces remain untouched. Carefully inspect every detail, including the rim, lettering, eagle feathers, Washington's hair, and the overall antique piche appearance. These are the tiny features collectors quietly examine before aggressive auction bidding begins. Many of the finest original examples have disappeared into private collections where owners refuse to sell, making the remaining supply even smaller, while collector demand continues to grow year after year. That is why an exceptional example matching these characteristics has reached an incredible market value of $170,000, transforming what most people see as pocket change into a silent fortune and life-changing hidden wealth. Remember, do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Protect its original toning, store it safely, and have it professionally graded before making any decision. Patience can reward you in ways you never imagined. But don't celebrate yet, because the next Washington quarter on our countdown is even rarer, even more mysterious, and the unbelievable detail behind it has collectors competing in ways that will leave you speechless. Stay till the end, because what comes next is even bigger. Next up, this is where the countdown becomes truly unbelievable. If you have ever seen an old 1932 Washington quarter with a tiny D mint mark, do not ignore it for even a second, because you could be holding one of the most legendary hidden treasures in American coin history. Most people would spend this coin without realizing they're letting a silent fortune disappear forever. Stay till the end, because this is not fiction, and what comes next is even more shocking. The year 1932 was one of the hardest periods in American history. The Great Depression had pushed families into financial hardship. Jobs were scarce, and the United States was celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. To honor that historic milestone, the Washington Quarter was introduced for the very first time, creating a brand new chapter in U.S. coinage. But the Denver Mint produced only a tiny number of these quarters compared with later years, making the 1932 with D one of the key dates in the entire Washington Quarter series. Its low mintage and first-year status have made it one of the coin's serious collectors dream about owning. The front proudly features George Washington's portrait, designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse displays the powerful American eagle, standing with spread wings above a bundle of arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. This quarter was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it a rich metallic appearance and a distinctive ring. It weighs approximately 6.25 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters across, and has a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters. When you hold one in your hand, it carries the unmistakable feel of an early American silver coin that has survived nearly a century. If your coin shows a natural black shade across the reverse with honest circulated wear, don't assume it has lost its value. Many advanced collectors actually prefer original surfaces that reveal the coin's true journey through history. Never clean this coin. Cleaning destroys the original toning that collectors pay premiums for and can dramatically reduce its desirability. Professional grading is absolutely critical because the 1932 with D is also a heavily counterfeited date, with fake mint marks sometimes added to common Philadelphia coins. Authentication can make all the difference. Carefully inspect the small D mint mark, the sharpness of Washington's portrait, the eagle's feathers, the rim, and the untouched antique appearance. These are the tiny details that ignite intense bidding in major auctions. Collectors quietly compete for original examples because so few survive in desirable condition, and many owners refuse to sell once they secure one. Demand continues to climb while available coins become harder to find every year. That is why an exceptional example, like the one described, can command an astonishing market value of $325,000, transforming what appears to be an ordinary old quarter into hidden wealth, serious money, and a truly life-changing opportunity. Remember this above all else. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it, preserve its original toning, and always have it professionally graded before making any decision. One careful choice today could protect a fortune tomorrow. But don't go anywhere, because the next Washington Quarter on this countdown is surrounded by mystery, impossible rarity, and a shocking story that even experienced collectors struggle to believe. What comes next is even bigger. Next up, you are getting closer to the most unbelievable coin on this countdown. But don't underestimate this one. Thousands of people have spent this Washington Quarter without realizing they were giving away a hidden treasure. If you ever find a 1970 Washington Quarter with the D mint mark showing natural gray dots and an original fine condition, stop immediately, because this could be the silent fortune that changes everything. This is not fiction, and what you're about to hear explains why collectors never overlook this coin. Do not spend this coin. The year 1970 was a time of major economic uncertainty in the United States. Inflation was beginning to climb, manufacturing costs were increasing, and Americans were seeing rapid changes in everyday commerce. The Denver Mint continued producing Washington Quarters to meet heavy circulation demand, and while millions entered the economy, Only a tiny number survived over the decades with their original surfaces and attractive natural appearance. That is exactly why advanced collectors keep searching for outstanding examples, while ordinary-looking coins continue disappearing into cash registers every single day. The obverse proudly displays John Flanagan's classic portrait of George Washington, while the reverse features the bold American eagle standing above arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing America's strength and peace. Struck in a durable copper-nickel-clad composition bonded to a copper core, the coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters. Although those specifications are standard, experienced collectors know the real value comes from originality, eye appeal, and preservation rather than age alone. If your coin displays naturally developed gray dots across its surface, never assume they are damage. Original toning formed over decades often creates a unique appearance that many collectors appreciate. A fine, circulated example with untouched surfaces can attract far more attention than a cleaned, shiny coin. Never clean this coin. Cleaning removes the original skin that collectors want to see and can permanently reduce its desirability. Professional grading is critical because it verifies authenticity, confirms the condition, and protects the coin's long-term collector value. Take your time examining the Denver mint mark, the sharpness of Washington's portrait, the eagle's feathers, the lettering, the rim, and the untouched antique appearance. These are the tiny details that serious collectors quietly study before competitive auction bidding begins. Many premium examples have disappeared into private collections where owners refuse to sell, making the remaining supply increasingly difficult to find. As demand continues to rise, and original examples become scarcer, an exceptional coin matching these characteristics has reached an astonishing market value of $150,000, turning what looks like an ordinary quarter into hidden wealth, serious money, and a true, life-changing opportunity. So remember, do not spend this coin. Never clean it, preserve its original toning, and always have it professionally graded before making any decision. Patience can protect a fortune that most people never even realized they had. But don't leave now, because the #1 Washington quarter is the rarest, the most valuable, and the most shocking coin on this entire list. The incredible story behind it has stunned collectors for decades, and you won't believe what makes it so extraordinary. Next up, you've made it to the #1 coin, and this is the moment every collector waits for. What if an ordinary-looking 1998 Washington quarter with the P mint mark is sitting in your pocket right now? Most people would spend it without a second thought, never realizing they just gave away a hidden treasure. This coin has surprised collectors, sparked intense bidding, and proved that even modern quarters can become silent fortunes. So before you spend another quarter, stop and check it carefully, because do not spend this coin. The year 1998 was an exciting period in American history. The economy was expanding, technology was changing everyday life, and the U.S. Mint was preparing for the launch of the famous 50-state quarters program that would begin the following year. During this transition, millions of Washington quarters continued to circulate across the country, but only a very small number survived with exceptional originality, eye appeal, and collector-desired characteristics. While countless examples became scratched, polished, or heavily worn in circulation, the finest original pieces quietly disappeared into collections, making them much harder to locate today. The obverse features John Flanagan's classic portrait of George Washington, while the reverse displays the iconic American eagle standing proudly above a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this quarter is composed of a copper core bonded with copper-nickel layers, weighs approximately 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters. Those specifications are familiar to every quarter, but collectors know that rarity often comes from originality, preservation, and eye appeal rather than age alone. If your coin shows naturally developed gray dots and still has a beautiful, very fine appearance, don't mistake those surfaces for damage. Original toning that develops over decades is often appreciated because it tells the true story of the coin. Never clean this coin. Cleaning strips away the original surface that experienced collectors want to see and can permanently reduce its desirability. Professional grading is critical because it verifies authenticity, confirms the condition, and helps determine whether the coin has the quality serious buyers demand. Examine the P mint mark, the sharpness of Washington's portrait, the eagle's feathers, the lettering, the rim, and the untouched original finish. These are the tiny details that advanced collectors quietly inspect before aggressive auction bidding begins. Many premium examples are now locked away in private collections, where owners refuse to sell, making available pieces increasingly scarce. As collector demand continues to grow and the supply of attractive original coins becomes smaller, an outstanding example matching these characteristics has reached an impressive market value of $80,000, transforming what appears to be an ordinary quarter into hidden wealth, serious money, and a life-changing opportunity. Remember, do not spend this coin. Never clean it, preserve its original toning, and always have it professionally graded before making any decision. One careful inspection could uncover a fortune hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed today's countdown, keep checking every Washington quarter that passes through your hands, because the next hidden treasure could be waiting in your pocket right now.